Rassie Erasmus has named his first Springbok squad for the year. And as usual, always a blockbuster call, always a selection that makes us all sort of scratch our heads and takes us by surprise. And this week, Rassie Erasmus has named Quine Horn at number 10 for the Boks against the Barbarians. A player who's only gotten one cap for the Boks at 15. A player who's never really played for 10 at the Lions, let alone at the Boks, will get an opportunity to impress Rassie Erasmus and his coaching staff in the number 10 jersey this weekend. Also, a first opportunity for Norton to get a chance in the green and gold with a call-up to the starting lineup in the number 4 jersey. Apart from that, pretty straightforward selections. Kolisi coming straight into the side, getting an opportunity in a position where we need to try and add a bit of depth at tight head. You've also got starts for an Andre Hugo Venter, as well as a Grant Williams, who is fit and firing into the starting lineup as well. And apart from that, a very experienced starting 15. And then off the bench, a couple of new faces, including Paul de Villiers, who will get his first opportunity for the Boks off the bench. Zachary Porth and Tuka, the two props on the bench. JJ Kotze getting opportunity as well. Faf de Klerk back into the mix. It is a 6-2 split from Rassie Erasmus, and Vusi Moyo is the other backline, or the replacement fly half on the bench, with no Malibok named across either the SAA or the Springbok side. Before we get into it, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Get into the comments and let me know what you think of the call that Rassie Erasmus has made, because this is what this team looks like. So let's go through it, shall we? And we're going to go through this, and then we'll and then look at the SAA side separately. So 1 through to 15, Oxen Chair, Andre Hugo Venter, Kolisi in the front row. I'm very excited to see what Kolisi in particular can do, because I think he's a player who should have been on the Bok list a while back, had I think his career lived up to the expectations. And to be honest, I think if he hadn't left the Lions, where things were going so well for him, then also might have been a bit quicker to have gotten this call-up. But he does get a start, and it's a position where we've lost Asenate and Tlabakanya. There's no Frans Moherbe in the horizon. There's no Trevor Nyakar on the horizon. Obviously, no Vilkolo or Thomas Totoy this weekend, which kind of shows you that it's a position we need to build depth. And Zach Porthen coming off the bench will be a good addition. And then, interestingly, Lock as well is a position of worry. There were rumors that Lourdes Jager was the reason that RJ Smith has been called up. We didn't expect to see Ebenezer in the side, and as a result, Riley Norton will get a chance, and very, very keen to see how he goes, and whether he can live up to the billing of the leadership sort of side of things. The question is now, can he hack it from a playing perspective at this sort of level? Franco Mostert will be next to him, so all the experience in the world he's needed, as well as our usual loose trio of Siya Kolisi in the captain's jersey, Peter Steph the toy, and Jasper Wiese. So much experience around the likes of a Franco Mostert, a Riley Norton, a Riley Norton, a Kolisi, and Andre Hugo Venter. Then in the back line, how's this for a selection? Grant Williams next to Quine Horn, who I'm busy trying to find out. I can't find a game where he has started at 10 for professional rugby. I'm looking at all the different stats. I can't remember a time when he started at 10 for the Lions, which I watch a lot of. But how exciting is that for as a selection? And very interesting in terms of his chance of going to the World Cup next year, because if he thrives in this position, that means that all of a sudden he covers 15, 14, 11, as well as 10. And that is a huge array of positions to be able to add in a Bok squad where they love a 6-2, a 7-1 split. If you can suddenly cover 3-4 positions, then you are absolute gold for the Boks. And I think in that perspective, it's a very interesting and a very exciting selection. Edel van der Merwe, Ches and Colby, the back three. I mean, when I looked at the squad, I was initially almost disappointed to see Fassi in the 15 jersey, not because I don't like to see Fassi playing, because I really wanted to see Horn get a go against the Barbarians. Little did I know he would have been in the number 10, but what a back three that is. And then Andre Esterhuizen and Jesse Creel, arguably the top pairing we have. Damien Delende under genuine serious pressure from Andre Esterhuizen with regards to the kind of form he showed last year. So if we then look at the replacements, JJ Kotze, Instu, Zach Porthen, it is an all-Stormers front row, which I think is quite important. I mentioned that in my predicted side, that I think we would have seen a All Stormers front row. I kind of had it as Andre Hugo Venter with those two and then starting, but Rassie Erasmus had different plans. We then got Ben Jason Dixon, Paul de Vries, Evan Ruiz, Faf de Klerk and Vusi Moyo. So plenty of Stormers players on that bench. Good to see Faf de Klerk back in the mix. And I think Vusi Moyo, I'm excited to see what he can do. You know, not necessarily your Moin Liebach type flower, but very solid player, good defensively. Tactically kicking very good goal kicker as well, very accomplished from that perspective. And I think big opportunities here for particularly a Ben Jason Dixon and Evan Ruiz, two players who have had opportunities in the Bok jersey, but I don't think's really impressed. And I think that this is an opportunity for them to do exactly that, is to go out and impress the Bok coaching staff. Something like a Paul de Villiers, you know, he's obviously also wants to impress, but he's kind of new to the environment. So there won't be as much pressure for him to deliver right off the bat. And speaking about the selections, Rassie Erasmus has said the following. He says, we said from the outset that we wanted to give a few players returning from injury and others who have been playing overseas game time in this match, while at the same time exposing some of the younger players on our radar to top-class international rugby, and we believe this squad reflects these objectives. We have been very impressed with the way the new players have jumped straight into action and grasped our systems and structures, and we are excited to see what they can do alongside some of our regular Springbok players as we build for what will be a challenging season with the Nations Championship and rugby's greatest rivalry series approaching. Then spoke a little bit about the Barbarians, but I mean, initial thoughts are not too many surprises to a certain degree, but I think as per usual, we're getting a good balance between young players, new players, and also getting the other players a hit out. You know, I'm really excited to see what Franco Mostert brings on Saturday. I'm really excited to see what Andre Esterhuizen, really sort of ramps up. I'm excited to see what Apelele Fassi does, given the fact that now he'll know he's got pressure, not only obviously from Damien Willems, who's the incumbent, but now you've got Quine Horn, who's there's an experiment going, which obviously means he's in the plans. And Apelele Fassi might be a little bit nervous about the fact that maybe this suddenly could put a Quine Horn ahead of him. So these are players fighting for a World Cup spot. You know, Riley Norton potentially maybe could be a dark horse for a World Cup spot if he suddenly goes and has an absolutely tremendous game. That is how big this potential game could be for these players.